My name is Jack Wallen, and it has been a rough week. Before I actually get to discussing what I want to talk with you about, I want to tell you a little bit about what happened this week to make it so bad. So, about a year ago, I started seeing a doctor. I know, who'd have thunk it? And the doctor did some blood work and discovered that my cholesterol was high. And I said, well, I eat well, I exercise like crazy. Yeah, how can that be? He said, well, probably genetics. I said, well, let me try something. Let me make some fine tuning with my diet, and we'll see if that fixes the problem. So I did that, and a year had passed, and did the blood work, and my bad cholesterol went down a little bit, but not enough. So the doctor said, okay, so let's put you on some medication. I said, oh, well, okay. I'm not against medication. I would just rather try to fix the problem with my diet or whatever. But anyway, so he decided on the medication. He said, I don't have the lowest dose in stock, so I'm going to give you this one. And, you should only have some mild side effects, some muscle ache or whatever. I said, okay. So I started taking them last Wednesday, and everything seemed okay. And then Monday came, and me and my wife, my stepdaughter, went out for lunch, and we came home, and it was about 2:59, and I felt great. And then at 3 o'clock, every single one of the side effects of that medication hit me at once. Every one of them. Oh my God. It was bad. It was, every muscle in my body ached. I was so dizzy I could hardly stand. I had stomach cramps non-stop, like the kind of stomach cramps that double you over in pain. No energy at all, couldn't sleep. Essentially, I had a very bad flu without the fever. So I had remembered my doctor saying that he didn't have the lowest dosage in stock. So I said, well, maybe that's what it is. And I was working on something, writing something. My wife sent me the side effects of that medicine. I was like, yeah, that's every one of them that I'm feeling right now. So I said to my doctor, I said, should I don't know, cut this pill in half? And he said, yeah, you should probably do that. So last night I cut it in half and I took it, and I woke up feeling human again. So here's the thing. Question your doctor. Don't always assume that they are 100% right. If something doesn't feel as it should, tell them. Okay, that's out of the way. Now I want to talk about something else. I actually was going to talk about something even different, but I just came back from my therapist and decided that I wanted to talk about myself in such a way that I hope that it will help you or someone. Because I know that every video that I do doesn't help everyone. Some of the videos I do help no one. Some of the videos I do are just me blathering on and on and on, seemingly just so I could hear my own voice, but that's not the case. It's every video I do comes from a desire to help. So I'm an artist. I'm a very creative person. And I only function well when that creativity is allowed to manifest. Whether it be in my writing, my acting, the way I speak, the way I think, and the way I dress. And I look at myself as if I am on a continuum. You know those color pickers when you're on a computer and you have to choose a color, and there's a circle and there's a little dot in the middle, and you can drag it around and you can pick the color that you want exactly, but the colors are on it's a massive gradient of colors. It's a beautiful thing. That gradient circle, that's me. There are some days I wake up and I have to drag that circle down to the blue, and I say that's how I'm feeling today. And there are some days I wake up and I drag that circle up to the pink, and I say that's how I'm feeling today. There are some days I wake up and I drag that circle right to the center into the white, and I say, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit white today. Some days I drag it to the black, some days I drag it to the brown, some days I drag it to the green, red, yellow, orange, chartreuse, umber, whatever. The important thing is that because of my creative nature, I feel that if I don't have that palette, that gradient palette from which to choose, I am limiting myself. And you may have noticed, I try to, in these videos, I try to dress very, very kind of neutral. I try. But you've probably noticed in some instances where it's like, wait a minute, is he, what is he wearing? It's like the fingernail polish. I haven't polished my nails in a while because my fingers started to peel. I don't know if it was because of the polish, but they just started peeling, and it was like, what is going on there? But if you looked in my closet, you'd be like, is this a man's closet or a woman's closet? I don't know. My answer to that is, it's my closet. And when I look at my closet, I think, how am I feeling today? Am I feeling blue? Am I feeling pink? Am I feeling green? Am I feeling red? Whatever. And then, or sometimes I think, I'm feeling kind of rainbowish, so I'm just going to put on whatever. Whatever I'm feeling inside is how I want to represent myself outside. The problem is that society wants us all to fit very nicely into little boxes. Because society is either afraid or confused of anything or anyone that doesn't fit into a box. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not fit in a box. I will not fit in a box. I will not be placed in a box. I will not be confined to a box. I am me. That's it. I'm me. And I've reached the point in my life where I've just gotten tired of waking up in the morning and thinking, well, what me do I have to be today? Or what me do I have to be in this moment? Do I have to present myself in such a way that I make the people that I'm with comfortable? Because if I don't, what's going to happen? What are the consequences of me making someone else uncomfortable because they can't put me in a box? That is not my place or my concern. My concern, my place, is to be honest and genuine with who I am. And try to spread a little kindness. As much kindness as I can. But you see, here's the thing. I have to give some kindness to myself. I can't just give away all of my kindness. Because if I give away all of my kindness and there's none left for me, then I can't be honest with who I am. You can look at me. You can hear my voice. You can take in my thoughts. You can read my books. And it's very obvious that I don't define myself the same way that society would want me to define myself. I am not masculine. I am not feminine. I'm just somewhere in between. I'm me. I'm just Jack. And I have to be okay with that. And I can't, and if I repress that, or if I feel shame in that, to the point where I can't even function in society because I know that I am denying my truth, then I'm doing myself a disservice, and I'm doing you a disservice, because I'm lying to you. I'm lying to me. Look, if who you are doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't challenge society in such a way that it feels overly threatened, then you gotta be you. Because if you can't be you, you're going to feel like I have felt for so long, that you don't fit in. I have lived so much of my life thinking, well, I don't fit in here, I don't fit in there. Where do I belong? And it's even harder when you believe that there is a community out there that would be accepting of you. But then when you really get into it, you realize that even they want you to fit into a box. I can't do that. It's just like my creativity. My creativity is like an explosion of ideas from my head. And it's constant. And it changes from day to day. And I just have to let it be. I have to let my creativity be what it wants to be. And at the same time, I have to let myself be what I want to be. Otherwise, that creativity gets stifled. Because I'm not being truthful or honest with who or what I am. I am a gradient. I am a gradient of humanity. I live somewhere within those pixels where colors are not exactly defined, but they're there and they're beautiful. And without them, society wouldn't be as beautiful as it is. I mean, think about it. If everything were binary, if everything were black and white, the world would be so boring. And so I would say to you, be honest with yourself. Be your true self. Be you. Be unconditionally you. And you will start everything from a place of happiness or content. It may not be happiness. But if you lie to yourself, if you refuse to allow yourself to be who and what you are, everything comes from a lie. Everything comes from a place of untruth, of discomfort, of frustration, of desire, of want. And I have just spent way too much time in my life going, well, I guess I have to be this me right now, and I don't want to be that me right now, because that's not me. Me is an explosion of color, is an explosion of thought, is a continuum of humanity. I am, when people ask me who I am, I say, well, I'm an artist. You can infer from that what you want. But when they say, well, let's get more specific. The way you dress, what is that? Well, it's the way I dress. The clothes that I wear, they're my clothes. They're not men's clothes. They're not women's clothes. They're my clothes. And they are what I'm comfortable in. They are an extension of my creativity. And without the ability to express my creativity externally in such a way, life gets really, really boring. And a boring life to an artist, well, it's like a cage to a bird. Just think about that for a second. On my way home from my therapist, I was listening to The Cure's new album, which is beautiful. And I was thinking, if I were music, I would be music from The Cure. Because when I listen to it, it just, not even the words, the sounds, the beat, everything speaks to my soul. And then I think, well, what genre is that music? And I have trouble defining that genre of music. And I think, yeah, that tracks. I don't want society to define me. Because you see, society doesn't get to be in my head. Society doesn't get to look through my eyes. Society doesn't get to feel what's in my heart. Let me define me. And even then, I'm not going to define myself. Because to define myself is to limit myself. And I don't want to live with limitations like that. No artist wants to live with limitations. We want to be so free that our creativity just kind of pours out of us constantly and freely. So, my dear wonderful people, be you. Be you out loud. Be proud of you. Get to the point where you can look in the mirror and say, this is who you are, and I'm proud of it, and I'm okay with it. And whether or not society's okay with it, well, that's their problem, not mine. If the way I dress makes society uncomfortable, well, guess what, society? That is your problem. And if you expect me to change who I am because you might be a little uncomfortable, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to be uncomfortable. I mean, what if I said, what if I walked into what if I saw somebody walking the streets with khakis, with a blue button-down shirt tucked into their khakis, and loafers with no socks? And I said, the way you dress makes me uncomfortable. That would be so wrong. Even if it did make me comfortable. It's not my place to tell somebody the way they dress makes me uncomfortable. Now, if they're wearing a shirt with a swastika on it, that's a different story. I'd be more than happy to walk up to them and say, yeah, the way you dress is making me really uncomfortable. And I will punch a Nazi. But again, whole different story. Anyway, I'm me. I'm unapologetically me, and that's how I'm going to live my life from now on. And I hope that you can do the same thing. Because when you embrace who you are, especially if who you are is a good person, well, that's a beautiful thing. Thank you so very much for listening to me ramble on today. I hope that I've helped someone. If not, well, you've got more fodder to make fun of me about. And that's okay. Because trust me, I make fun of myself enough. Anyway, thank you again. I see you. I hear you. I love you. And I hope that you and everyone you know has a wonderful, wonderful day.